Welcome to your reading. This is going to be an overall general energy reading for my Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Keep in mind, Aries, I trust that when these messages find you, they find you at the right time. All of my readings are timeless. Aries, I hope that this message finds you while you're in good health and good wealth. I hope that you're doing something that you love today, this afternoon, tonight. As long as you do something you love, then I'll be happy, because we all deserve to do the things that we love at least a little bit, right? Squeeze it into our schedule, anything to, enjoy our time here on this earth, because we deserve to. Five of Cups reverse. I was just touching this and I saw the Five of Cups reverse. Knight of Pentacles reverse. And the Empress. But we're just sticking to the facts, Aries, okay? It's going to be for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Sticking to the facts. Temperance in reverse. First card out. Overall energy for my Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node spirit. Thank you. Page of Wands in reverse. In the center of your reading, Aries, we have the Six of Wands. We're just going to get the whole message out, whole spread out. Thank you, Spirit. Start your reading. Clarifying. To start your reading, we have the Tower, right? Clarifying that, we have the Five of Wands. So, something in your life that was really stressful for you. It happened all of a sudden, maybe, or maybe it was a long time. This was just something that was bound to happen, right? You've been dealing with some bullshit for a while from somebody, someone, something. And just the conflict of it all, right? Like the destructive patterns that you were stuck in with these people, places, or things. It caught up to itself, right? And there was a shift, an energetic shift. Maybe more than just energy. Like maybe there was a physical shift, like emotional shift. There was a big changes that happened, right, in regards to this rerouting of direction in your life, Aries. Next card out, we have the Hangman in reverse, and that is clarified by the Four of Swords, right? So this is not something that you were necessarily expecting, not necessarily something that you, I don't know, I think this is just you seeing that the cause of this, the destruction of this, was not your fault, right? You're not trying to take the blame, you're healing from whatever this was, right? You're trying to, I feel like you're trying to not let the pain that was caused to you, I feel like you're not trying to let it affect like how you're showing up in your reality and in your environments. I think you're still trying to show up very, possibly wearing a mask of just like, I'm okay, but it might have fucked you up. But I think you are showing up regardless. You're just very, very powerful, right? Maybe a little unfazed, but this was something that was big to you, right? This is like, I think you're just trying to like, I think the more that you can make others believe, I think this is where your head's at. I think the more that you can make others believe that you're okay, that the more you'll start to believe that you're okay. I think that's like kind of how you're approaching this, whatever fell away for you, whatever changed, right? And the ace is the Six of Wands is the next card out in the center of your reading, and that is clarified by the Ace of Wands reversed, right? So there's this part of you that knows a new beginning is here. It's here. The fact that the tower fell is what, you know, makes it true that that was an ending, right? That was an ending that you were not necessarily ready for, or that you were necessarily, maybe you were expecting it, and maybe you just, the outcome of how things played out and how things went down, maybe even although you were expecting it, once it was settled in for you that this is now reality, like that did happen, I think that aspect of it could have made you a bit just uneasy, unsettled, right? Just feeling like uncomfortable with the fact that it happened, however it happened. But next card we have out is Two of Swords, and that's clarified by the Queen of Swords. Could be dealing with an air sign, because the next card we have after that in your spread, to end your spread, we have the Three of Swords clarified by Judgment. Okay. Aries, center of your reading, Six of Wands, Ace of Wands reverse. Whatever this was for you, overall energy being the Page of Wands reverse, whatever this was for you, it was something that you were really, really hoping to find long-term success and achievement in. It was something that you maybe have given a lot of your time and energy to, a lot of your real time and energy, right? Like love, like the parts of you that, you know, you don't give to your everyday 9 to 5, unless you love your job, of course. But that a lot of people don't give to the everyday 9 to 5, right? Like the real genuine aspects of you and your soul, your essence. I think this is something that you, because you were investing so much of that in regards to yourself into this person, place, thing, situation, really just something that made you passionate. It made you feel like it was worthy of that energy from you. I think the disappointment, or the fact that it did not work out is not something that you were necessarily preparing for, or that you might have expected. And I think in regards to I think there was just like a lot of misunderstanding why this thing ended for you. I think there was a lot of misalignment, or I don't know, not being in alignment with each other energetically. So maybe not showing up how you expect, they were not showing up how you expected them to show up, or it was not what you expected it to be, or vice versa, right? And so you're kind of feeling shitty about it all. Queen of Wands reverse, Seven of Swords. Wow. So something here, someone here. Yeah, I feel like you might have been lied to, right? You might have been deceived. The Queen of Wands reverse is like, they're going to tell you what they want to hear. But with the Seven of Swords, it's like, it's to a whole nother degree, right? This person is, they're going out of their way to convince you of a reality that is not real, to convince you of a truth that is not true, right? This is somebody that, and this is why the tower's falling, and this is why you're no longer wanting to invest yourself, your energy, your curiosity. You're no longer wanting to give that energy, that real genuine love and essence that you were giving it to it anymore. And that has the tower falling, right? Because now this energetic contract has been broken because somebody or something or a situation was not what you were told or what you were sold it would be, right? What this proclaimed itself to be was not that, and you found out. And that is exactly why the first card we have out is the Tower, and then the Five of Wands, right? The fact that you found out, the fact that it was what it was, like, you were not moving forward with that. Next card, Hangman in reverse and Four of Swords. To clarify that, it's not something that you expected, right? Maybe this person was like somewhat of a liar, so you expected that. Like you knew that they were doing things that were not necessarily right, or that they were trying to convince you that. You were aware of that. But I think whatever this is right here, this is not something that you, with the Five of Wands, the Tower, this is like, there's one specific situation that happened that they should have maybe flipped these energies around, right? Like these should maybe be both flipped upside down. Like there was this one situation that it was kind of like the line for the last straw for you. Like if there was any inauthenticity brought to this last straw, then you were kind of like, okay, no more, right? It was something that was important to you, I'll say. And because of that, you know it's not your fault, right? I think that the energy that you were dealing with, person, place, thing, I think that it was aware of how you expected it to show up because you were showing up as that for it, right? Are you keeping up with me? That was confusing, but like, because you were being genuine, you expected them to be genuine, and they were aware that that was what you expected of it, and they still chose to not be genuine. So you know, because of that, you're aware, in the awareness that it's not your fault, and that's why you're doing whatever you need to do in order to heal from it, and whatever, feeling whatever you need to feel. And because of that, in the center of your reading, we have the Six of Wands, right? This gives you a new sense of power, right? Kind of like maybe approaching, if something like this would have happened to you in the past, maybe you would have approached it in not the same way, but because you approached it in this way, because you handled yourself, carried yourself out in the manner that you did, and approached it in the way that you did, going through, respecting your boundaries, making your boundaries clear, respecting your boundaries, and then like honoring those boundaries once this person, place, or thing did, once they fucked up. You giving that genuine respect to yourself is what has you in this energy now of like, okay, it's new, it's here. Like the way that you respect yourself, right? I feel like you respect yourself in a different way because of that. Maybe in the past you would have let it slide, or maybe you would have, maybe bent a couple of your own rules to, I don't know, keep this person energy around, or, to not make anyone uncomfortable. But you're not bending any rules this time. You're just healing, respecting yourself, stepping away from any people, places, and things that are robbing you of your energy, right? Not like they're taking of your energy and not giving back, right? They want you to fill their cup, but they're not filling your cup, right? And because you're done with that, you're stepping away from because you respect yourself on a different level now, you're just stepping away from any people, places, and things, right? Even if you have to be alone, even if you have to be the only one that in your environment that is doing that, right? The only, it's like, even if it's a weird thing to do, respect yourself and your boundaries. Like, you're doing it because you know that you deserve to, right? You deserve all of the beautiful brand new beginnings that were just never going to come, that you deserve, but they were never going to come as long as you were dealing with these people, places, and things that were just going to continue to show up and honestly distract you from being able to get these beginnings, right? The fact that they were doing all of this bullshit, showing up, telling you one thing and then doing another, not matching their actions and their words, and showing up really inauthentic in your reality, took your focus away from whatever it needed to be focused on in order to get these new beginnings, right? So the removal of them is what allows, the removal of it is what allows you to finally start stepping into this reality that has been really just waiting for you, right? Freedom within the self, within the soul, respecting yourself to a degree at which, you finally believe and feel that you deserve that freedom. Like I feel like you're feeling happy and just excited to be existing now in a reality that is free from them and of them. And you might run into traps within your own mind, right? After the release of them, you might get caught up about if you made the right decision or not, because the next card out, we have the Two of Swords, and clarifying that is the Queen of Swords. You might have your moments, right? You might have your moments in your days where you wonder if you made the right choice, or if you should have maybe bent your rules one more time, right? Wondering if what you did was justified. And with the Queen of Swords clarifying that Two of Swords, it tells me that it's like, although you may run into those days and those struggles and those pockets of grief and self-doubt, you're deep down, you know, like your higher self made that decision to cut them out, to remove them, to not be lied to, and used and manipulated anymore. Your higher self is who was governing those decisions made at that time to take your power back, right? To not allow yourself to be made any smaller than what you are, and you're far from small, right? So if they're trying to make you feel small emotionally, spiritually, like make you doubt yourself and your abilities, to just be a good person, like to show up, them trying to make you feel like somebody that you're not, Aries. That's what I'm trying to say. For people to do that to you, your higher self, like, and then for that last straw to be, for that last straw moment to happen, it's like you are not, you might run into these, you know, days where you doubt if you made the right choice, but at the end of the day, you knew what you were doing. Like your higher self knew, and then you're just gonna have to find peace within that, because now you have peace in your life, because now you can actually focus on the things that you deserve and desire, and achieve the things that you've always were meant to achieve, right? The things that you set out to do before you started to be lied to and deceived and shit. But I was trying to say something and then it slipped my mind, so I just kept going, whatever. The last card we have out in the spread, Aries, is the Three of Swords. And that's clarified by Judgment, right? So this is not necessarily a situation that you wanted to happen, right? Maybe this person, place, or thing was something that you deeply valued, right? Somebody that you respected. And that's what was so heartbreaking about not being returned with that energy, right? Somebody that you believed in, somebody that you cared about. And so for them to show up as this version of themselves that you could clearly see, like you were, I think maybe they were trying maybe trying a little too hard to deceive you, right? Or maybe they were just like being a little bit obvious about it. But regardless, final decisions were made, and they're not decisions that you wanted, but they're decisions that happened. And now you're having to adjust to life, right? With this new worldview, with this new outlook about what your world is and what it can be, right? But we know one thing it won't be, and it's not going to be filled with liars and people that try to deceive you, Aries, about who knows what. But obviously it was about something that was important enough for you to remove yourself from the energy. So we know that your life now can be heading in a direction of peace, comfort, peace of mind, and just like progression, right? Focusing on that healing whatever you need to, and knowing that it was all divinely guided, because that Three of Swords was clarified by Judgment, right? The decisions that you made, the sacrifices, that's what that is. That's a sacrifice, right? Making a decision that you don't want to make, but in honor of the highest good for, in this case, probably yourself, right? That's a sacrifice. Giving up that habit, that addiction, giving up that person, giving up that job, even though you might not fully want to, right? You might not be ready, but doing it out of respect for yourself and the goal and the life path that you were meant to be on, because now you're in alignment with that, Aries. Whatever your life path is, whatever that entails for you, Spirit is here to give you that clarification with the Judgment card. Advice from Spirit. This might be the shortest reading I ever did for Aries. Advice Envy on the split, 2020 on the timestamp. And the temple path. Look, people are gonna be envious. This person, place, thing specifically, they're not gonna be happy that you shut them out, right? So that you can get in alignment with your highest path, so that they're not gonna be happy that you respected yourself. They're gonna be envious of the things that they start to see you achieve because you chose yourself, because you walked away from their fucked up ways, right? We got hostilities out right here. Indecision in the reverse over the Six of Wands. Making that choice to choose yourself. Oh yeah, Aries. Deceit on the bottom. Advice from Spirit. Be aware of all those in your environment that try to make you feel out of character, right? That try to lie and deceive you, and deceit, right? Under that, broken heart in the reverse. Be aware of who they are sooner than later, so that once this starts to commence in your life, or so that your heart is not shattered and so disappointed that it leaves you stuck wondering where you went wrong, right? Continue to just recognize, really analyze people in your environment, Aries, for who they are, not for who you want them to be. See them before they see them, right? Yeah. Because when you do that, you're going to just avoid a lot of further stagnation, further heartbreak, right? Further progression on your soul's path. Like, you'll be like, oh yep, I already knew that. So once you have to release them, it'll just be more easy for you. We have hostilities out first. And that's over the Tower, right? And the Five of Wands. Your advice from Spirit: fight. If that does become sort of like a destructive situation, emotionally, spiritually, whatever, like the Sun in reverse, if it does become something that is like, it is obvious you are in the midst of something that is falling apart, or like something that is uncomfortable, or like kind of something you got to stand your ground for, stand your ground, right? Speak your truth. Like, let it be known why this is either happening, why you made this happen, or why, you know, this doesn't need to be happening. Like, speak your mind, right? Don't necessarily become hostile, but don't let those energies have their way with you, right? Don't be made to feel small or less than just because that's their goal or intention, right? Next card we have out, indecision. That's over the Six of Wands. So indecision in the reverse, and that's with the Six of Wands and the Ace of Wands reverse. You got to make that choice to choose yourself, right? Make that choice to get in alignment and start walking towards the life path you were meant to be on. Make that decision to surround yourself with the people, places, and things that you were meant to be surrounded by. You know who it's not, right? You know who it's not, or you know what it is not. It's not people that are going to that are going to be deceiving you, breaking your heart, whatever. Like, it's not with those people, right? Make that choice to choose you, stand in your power, stand your ground, because this is your life. This is your reality, Aries. You're the only one that is going to stand up for you, fight for you, like, at the end of the day, right? Truly. So you got to choose you. If you can clearly see that the people around you are doing the opposite of choosing you. Opposite meaning being hostile, creating hostile and uncomfortable environments for you to exist in. And then last card of advice over the Three of Swords and Judgment. So yes, it was not something that you wanted to choose. It's not something that you wanted to happen. This was not a situation. This was a situation that you would rather have avoided, and that breaks your heart. That makes you really disappointed. Spirit's saying, keep your heart open. The moment that you want to close it is the moment that you need to keep it most open, Aries. That is the moment where you need to kind of go on, shift your emotional state of being, like, to manual, right? Like, you need to really take control in those moments, because number one, you already know it wasn't your fault. You already know that you didn't want this. You already know that you would rather rather have not experienced this. You already know they chose this. Even if it was something subconsciously, they were choosing this and trying to deceive you and make it seem like they weren't choosing this. They chose this, right? So because of that, Spirit's just saying, like, those days where it starts to feel like they're just unbearable, and maybe you're doubting yourself that you made the wrong choice, that's when you need to give yourself the most love. That's when you need to step outside of your body, understand that you did this for your soul, right? It might be hurting in your physical body, but you did this for your soul. You did this for love, right? Love of yourself, to get in alignment with the path that you should have been on, that you thought you were on, right? But found out you were not on. But now you're on that path, Aries. Justice is here. I love this. Justice is here. You're on that path, right? This is a confirmation from Spirit saying you're on that path, but keep your heart open. Don't close it off to the world. Don't close it off to the people around you that genuinely do love you and do care for you, just because a couple bad eggs fucked it up, right? I don't know that saying, but it's something like that. Overall energy is the Page of Wands in reverse, Aries. You're just dealing. I feel like you might feel like you've taken steps backwards, or like this was a setback, but this was exactly what needed to happen, Aries. This is exactly what needed. This crumbling, this falling apart of this relationship needed to happen, Aries, because it puts you, it literally accelerates you to the path that you were meant to be on, the people you were meant to find, the experiences that you were meant to experience that are going to be fulfilling to you, not just, in the 3D, but like, or not just physically, but materially, but like spiritually, right? Emotionally. You're going to start to have more of those experiences. The more that you keep your heart open and stay vulnerable through that pain, the more easier those experiences are going to find you, right? Aries, this was your message. Thank you.